welcome back to All Things Knit and Stitches. I'm Nicole, and this is my channel where I talk about all the stuff I'm getting up to craft-wise. Today is my June roundup video, so I'm going to talk about all the stuff that I got done in June, worked on, haul, all the things, and it is quite a bit late because it is the 17th of July today, but as we all know, life gets in the way, and it's better late than never, and it just means that I'll be back hopefully sooner to show you what I've been working on in July. So now let's talk about my finished objects. I don't have any fully finished cross stitch, but I did finish this pattern, and I did finish all 3 of them, so I did get them all done. So let's see, make sure you can kind of see. I think I did, I don't remember now, but I believe I did mostly. Okay, so it is charted for Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Art. So I would have looked at the picture or looked up the conversions to DMC and just kind of went from there. So yeah, so it's all DMC that I did, and I just kind of picked the colors that I thought looked best. So, and this is 28 count Heartland by Picture This Plus. And so yeah, we have this one, the Americana, which this was really fun to do. I love the flag roof. And then the little 1776. Okay, next up is an old whip that I had, and it is from the Heart Needlework by Wendy. It's the flower pot sampler. I apologize, this picture is terrible because of my printer, and I didn't iron it, but I did use this color. Let's see if I can move this closer. Okay, I use this Cottage Garden Thread Alice that's highly variegated, and I wanted to kind of see how that turned out. I have mixed feelings about this. When I first started, I liked it. Then when I picked it back up, I didn't like it. I thought it kind of looked messy, but I decided to finish it because I was very close, and I am going to fully finish it. And I mean, probably a frame, maybe a pillow, because I have a lot of just small samplers in my bedroom. So I'm sure that's what I would do with it, but I'm just not sure how I feel about the highly variegated floss. This is a 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. And the last one is, this is a new pattern by October House Fiber Arts, Firecracker Lane, and I think I have a better, I always make a photocopy so I can write on it and mark off what I'm doing, but here's a better copy. And I decided to do it on blue, and I dyed this fabric myself to get, it's not quite as dark. This is Delft Linen by Weeks Dye Works, but I'm really happy with this blue that I dyed. And I don't think I've changed anything. Oh, I did. So I didn't do the, if you can see better on this like kind of outline, I didn't do that. I just did the big fireworks, and then I just kind of filled in. It only has like the blue little like dots, and I just kind of filled in with all the different colors. And yeah, so I'm really happy with this. This was fun knit too, and I like how it's Patriotic, but it's a little different because it has like pink and lighter blue and stuff in it. So, but this is super pretty. I'm very happy about this. Okay, so that is all of my cross stitch finishes. Now I want to show you whips. Okay, so let's talk about whips. So lots of Patriotic and summer. So, okay, so first up, the summer sampler by the Proper Stitcher. I actually got a lot of stuff done in the spring, and I really wanted to do the summer, and I may pick this back up and work on it because I probably won't add in fall Halloween stuff until August, September. So there's still quite a bit of summer left, so I probably will continue to work on this. This is a 28 count even weave that I dyed. This is all that I got done, but I really do love these. I love this one especially with the big flowers, and I'm just using DMC, which I believe she does list. Yep, she has Weeks Dye Works and DMC, so that's easy to work out. Make sure I'm keeping these bags together. Okay, so next up is the American Sampler House, and I decided to do mine on a beige. So here's my progress. So I did have a little bit more progress. I had put in a bunch of these letters, and then when I was looking at the pattern, I realized, because the way I'd counted, if you can see, there's a line right here at the corner of the house that you don't stitch, and I was counting, I didn't count that, so, or I counted it, I don't remember, but I know I didn't count it right. I didn't account for this break in the house, so I had to take all the letters out. And so my plan was to just fill in this part of the house, then move over and do this part of the house. And I kind of was just done with Americana stitching, so I didn't want to do it anymore and put it up, but I will get back to it next year. Okay, another one. This has been an ongoing thing for years. I think 2 years ago, I got this one done. Last year, I finished this because I had most of it done except for these couple stripes on the bottom. So I finished this. And then this year, I started on this. So now I will show you. I actually started this one, or up in this corner, and it would have been this orientation. And I think maybe it was this way. No, it had to have been this. What was I doing? I don't even know, but it doesn't matter because I scrapped it. But anyway, somehow I got off because this is 32 count. And when I did these two, I was doing good on 32 count. No problems. But then I had kind of got away from 32, went back to more Ada and just like 28 count. And so when I was working on this, I kind of got off, probably just not being able to see the holes that well. Anyway, so this year I was determined to finish it, which I didn't, but I gave it a good effort. So I started again in a different spot, and this is how far I got. And I was able to do it pretty well. It is slower going than 28 or lower counts, but because the other two are done on this, I wanted them all to be on the same fabric. So I want to keep working on this, and eventually I'll get it done. It's just a little slower for me. And it's weird because I got to where I could stitch on 32, 36, and then I just don't like that anymore. And I just find it difficult. So I'm going to do a whip parade, and we'll talk about that more because that is like an issue with some of my projects that I have started on higher counts, and now I'm like, do I really want to do that? Do I want to just leave them and maybe I'll get back to that? I don't know. So, because it is all about, you know, working on what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, if it's a struggle, then why are you doing it? So, long may she wave. And I believe I showed these in the last video because I started this one. I don't remember where I was or if I got very far, but this is where I got on this. I love these. There's another one. This is the third one. And this is on 28 count mocha linen. And it's very loose, but I don't have a problem stitching on it as long as I have it tight in a hoop. And I think it looks really good. So these were patterns that came with the floss, and you just had to pick the fabric you want to stitch on. So these are overdyed classic colorworks. And what I did, and I don't know why I don't have it over here because I showed it last time, but the first one, whatever the colors were, that's what I used. And I'm gonna try to do this one with those colors so they're all the same, but if not, I'll just do this one a different blues and reds, but these are the same blues, reds, and browns that I used on the first one. And I just had to add in the white, I believe. So, but I do love these. I definitely want to get these done for next year. Okay, so that is all of my whips. And so now I'm going to show you some cross stitch haul. Okay, I don't have a ton of haul. I'm really trying to just work on stuff that I have and shop my stash and my extensive library of patterns. But something that I really did, I've been searching for this forever, and I finally found it because it's hard to find because it comes with the fabric. And so I finally found this at Sassy Jack's Stitchery. And they also had, this is number 2, and they also had number 1. So I was super excited. So I can't wait to get this done and have this out next spring. And I'm in the Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery Houses on Stitchery Lane series. And so I got the Patchwork House, and I get these from Fat Quarter Shop, and the Thimble House. And so I have these, I have all the thread pulled, and I have the fabric. I dyed the fabric like a really pale pink. And I have it all set aside to start at some point because I do want to do it all as one piece. And it does show it that way here on the back. I'm sorry about the glare. So I'm not sure about the borders, which I think are on the website. I may just do something a little more simplified in between. I haven't decided, but at some point I'm going to start this. Okay, and then I do have the new stuff, which, I mean, now it's been out for a minute, but the new releases from October House Fiber Arts, because I have those in my shop on Etsy. So the Firecracker Lane and Liberty Bunting. And then these are, I think these were already released, the Blue Notes 1, 2, and 3. But I just wanted to show them all together. And then 4, 5, and 6, which are the birds. I actually dyed another piece of fabric to do these all as one piece. And the way I'm doing it is like flower, flower, bird, flower, bird, flower, bird. And I've been working on that, but I'm gonna show that in my July video. And I think I'm on the 3rd one. So these are very quick and they're very pretty. very satisfying to do. And I have all of these available in my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. And then one more thing, my last needle minder of the month for Flamingo Toes for June, sorry. So it started last July, and here is the pattern. So there's a cross stitch pattern and a embroidery pattern, the needle minder, and then all the floss, which is all mixed up in this paper shreds that she puts in there. But so there's all the floss. And then, because this was the last one and she kept teasing this, she included this quilt pattern. And so you stitch each of the months in these little squares, and then you put them in this pattern. So this is what my plan was, is to do, because I've just been saving all the patterns, but I'm not sure if I'll do this exact pattern, but something similar to this where they're all like in a quilt. I think that'd be nice. Okay, so yep, that is all. Okay, so now to talk about my knitting whips and fully finishes. I have two fully finishes that I want to show you. The first one is this baby blanket, toddler blanket that I designed and knit. And this is for my great nephew, Dean. I still need to weave in the ends, but I just did a really big, a really wide ribbing border, and then it just kind of has an I-cord edge so that it helps it have a nice edge and not curl, and then I just repeated it on the other end. Because this is a variegated, like self-striping yarn, there's any pattern would just kind of get lost, and I just think this is really nice for a regular throw for a child or even an adult. It doesn't matter, like it'd be great. So I think I'm gonna size it for a bunch of different sizes so that it could be knit in a bigger version. But I'm super happy about that. I just gotta weave in the ends and get it washed up so I can send that to him. Okay, so the next one is this really long scarf that I just knit up, and this is a color phasing yarn. So it starts off at this really pretty like darker pink, and then it fades and fades, and then switches to teal, and then that gets darker as you get to the end of the ball. And so I just use the entire ball of yarn, and this yarn is not really available anymore. It has like a fuzz halo to it, but there's another yarn that's very similar that I'm going to include in the kits, because this is going to be a learn to knit kit. So there's going to be videos of everything you need to know, like the supplies, how to cast on, how to knit, and like how to bind off. This is the super simplest thing you can make, because it's just garter stitch, so it's just knitting over and over again. I do always have like a slip stitch so that the edges are neat and look more polished, but that's optional. And so this will probably just be free on my website, because it literally is just, you cast on, you knit, and you bind off. So, but I will have this as a learn to knit kit that you can buy with different colors, and it'll have the needles and a pretty progress keeper and links to videos that like show all the steps. But again, it's a super simple, it's just, these are so, I just think garter stitch can be so pretty and squishy, and it's like the easiest way to practice knitting, and you can just knit them up and they make really great gifts, or just so that you have different color scarves in your wardrobe. So that is that. And then the last thing is my July washcloth. So this is also a kit, you can get with the yarn. This I did in 3 colors, but the kit comes with 2 colors. So I have a couple of different variations. So it comes with the instructions, needles, a progress keeper, and some other little things. And so this is the lighter blue. This is a darker, I think this is denim. And then this is like a gray. And it's a really nice, I try to do all my washcloths where it's like a mix of knit and pearls, because that gives it the texture you need to actually use it, make it useful. And this one's just really cool. It just goes back and forth between garter and stockinette, and it's got these yarn overs. So super easy, super fast, but just gives you a little bit of variety. Okay, so next up I'm going to show you guys all of my yarn haul, and I have quite a bit because one of our local yarn stores, Juju Knits in Fort Worth, decided that they were going to close, and she just wants to move on to something else. So I actually went down there a couple of times as she discounted things more, and as I thought about different projects I wanted to work on. So I have a ton of yarn here in front of me, and I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I got. Okay, so first up I have this is Yak DK in Yak Silk DK in the color In Bloom by Treehouse Knits. So I was able to pick up 3 skeins of this. It's a really pretty purple color. I also got this by Treehouse Knits. This is A Life Without Love Is No Life at All. This is Dove DK, which is 100% merino wool. And I actually got 4 of those. It's a really pretty peachy pink color that I think will be really pretty for I'm not sure it's quite enough for a sweater, but a summer top maybe. All right, I also got 2. These are like one of a kind farm twist by Madeline Tosh. So I don't know the name. I don't know if they named it or if it's just one of a kind, but this is it in the skein and this is it in the ball. So it's just a really pretty gray with a bunch of different color speckles. And I was testing out a couple different shawl wraps, deciding what I want to do with this. But that should be enough. Next, I have another one of a kind, and I actually have 3 of these, but the one is in a project bag. This is More Farm Twist by Madeline Tosh. But here's the color. Even though they're labeled one of a kind, I believe they're very similar. So I picked up 3 for a project. Okay, some more Madeline Tosh and Dopamine. This is Tosh Merino Light. And the color is Dopamine, so really pretty teal with different color speckles. Again, probably just a shawl, scarf, something along those lines. I also picked up this Ultra Alpaca Chunky Natural, and I got 3 of these. Such a pretty color, and it's very squishy. So, and I do believe that her website is still up and running. So I think it's, I'll put it on the screen, but I think it's Juju Knits, maybe fw.com, but it may just be Juju Knits. But you can also just Google it. So her, and she's shipping, I think, I'm assuming until she sells everything. So if you want to go check it out and see what kind of deals that she still has. Okay, then I was able to get a bunch of these to make a sweater. This is by the Fiber Company. It's chambray, and it is a DK Luma. So it's wool, cotton, linen, and silk. And I love this color. It's probably one of my favorite colors. So I was happy to acquire this. And then the last thing was this Hawthorne Tweed, which is also DK. And I got 2 different colors. This is Millstone Gray, and this is Calder Sky. And I actually have plans. I'll try to find it and put it up a picture, but there's a sweater pattern that I want to make that has, that would be this color, and then it just has some stripes in it for this blue. So this was a really good deal. These were only $5, and I just had to dig through and find enough of a main color and then a good contrast. Okay, so that is all the yarn that I acquired at the sale. I really, really appreciate you guys stopping by today. Hopefully I will be back closer to the beginning of the month so that I can kind of go over July a little bit closer to the end of July. But so until then, I hope you guys have lots of fun in the sun and enjoy the rest of summer. It's going by super fast, and I hope you get in some crafting and stitching time. So thanks for watching. Bye.